They say joy goes only as deep as praise. How can we understand that? Well, if you want to be happy, you've got to love something well. Maybe that's why religious people are the only ones that really know how to party. I'm convinced of that. Why? Because being religious means believing you found something in life worth celebrating. That's what religious people do. They celebrate. Isn't all celebration a form of worship? And until you know what is worthy of worship, your celebration will never quite be bone deep, will it? I mean, we know this is true. You've got to love something greatly before you can smile greatly. Joy, ultimately, is the satisfaction of having found something very good. So the depths of joy are limited to the goodness you see. If you've found something very good, you will be very joyful, and you will have the character of worship. Your joy will have the character of worship. As a Catholic, I grew up celebrating everything. Holidays, birthdays, baptisms, communions, confirmations, Mass. I had a friend once who lamented there wasn't enough live music in the world. Well, I guess that friend doesn't go to church, because I get live music and singing every Sunday. So Catholics are festive. The celebration is every day. You're never that far from a party in the Catholic Church. We have our saints' feast days, in addition to the high holidays like Christmas and Easter and all that. And we don't just party by ourselves, we party with the whole body of Christ, celebrating the gift of life itself. It's great. And we celebrate with our whole body. We celebrate with our eyes, and you can see that in our beautiful churches and art. We celebrate with our ears through the beautiful music, through our nose with incense and roses, through taste, just think of communion, bread and wine, and touch, all the sacramentals in the Catholic faith, like the rosary. We celebrate God spiritually and physically. So, if you haven't found true happiness yet, join the people of God. Watch what happens. You'll begin to celebrate bone deep, perhaps for the first time in your life. You'll start to celebrate just being alive. Every celebration is an act of worship. And that's really where the word holiday comes from. It comes from the word holy day. Something is holy because it participates greatly in the cause of all celebration, right? In the cause of all goodness. Something truly life-giving. Something truly creative. That's why we worship the Creator, right? We want to get at the source of true life. And that is what we celebrate. When we find it, we begin to dance. We begin to shout. We begin to sing. On every holiday, every holy day, we celebrate great things, great goods. On Thanksgiving, we celebrate family. On the 4th of July, we celebrate the birth of our nation. On Valentine's Day, we celebrate love. There's a holiday for the birth of a baby. It's called Christmas. But there are no holidays for wealth or evil. We don't have a power holiday either. Well, wealth and power are great goods. Why don't we celebrate it? And the reason is because those are only means to wonderful things, not the principle. They're not the source. They're not the wonderful thing itself. On holidays, we celebrate what is truly alive, ultimately. Ultimately, we celebrate what is best, what is the root and source of life. So when we say a person has faith, that just simply means that they have a strong belief about what is best. Some people haven't found anything great yet. They don't have confidence in anything. They can't really celebrate, therefore, anything either. All their celebrations are empty, right in the center. They might notice that something has partial good, but they can't connect it to any kind of source that they can give their whole self to. And that's what makes the celebration bone deep, is having that principle, grasping that principal source of true life that's right at the center of our joy. Real celebration is, at its root, a religious act, and that is why celebrations are called holy days, holidays. And it's why religious people are the only people that truly know how to party. I've been to a lot of parties in my life, and I can tell you, religious people do it best. They have the joy of the Lord. They have something they are actually happy about. Think of all the celebratory days in a religious calendar. I mean, it's like every other day. Celebrations then reorient us back towards life. Celebration and praise is like surgery for your heart. It reorients you back to something truly good. When you celebrate that confirmation, or when you celebrate that graduation from school, or you celebrate that birthday, what are you celebrating? The existence of that person, their growth, their perfection, their maturity, their coming into the full human being that they were meant to be. Celebrations, praise, and parties always reorient us back to something truly good, even if it's just friendship, even if you're throwing a party for friendship to celebrate your friends. Like all forms of praise, parties and celebrations operate directly on the appetite and reform and convert the heart back to what is truly wonderful. So praise, celebration, and worship are essential to a happy, well-lived life.